You have played Roblox thousands of times. You have joined games, earned badges, spent Robux, and never once questioned what was underneath it all. But Roblox has a layer most players never reach. And the deeper you go, the stranger it gets. This is the Roblox Iceberg, and some of what lives at the bottom was never supposed to be found. Start at the top. The things you already know. Games like Brookhaven, Adopt Me, Blox Fruits, Robux, the Avatar Shop, the front page. These are the surface, the part Roblox wants you to see. But beneath that surface, the iceberg drops for miles, and most players never even notice the water. Let's go down. The first layer holds the things veteran players remember, but newcomers never hear about. Did you know Roblox was not always called Roblox? The platform launched publicly in 2006 under the working name Dynablox. The founders, David Baszucki and Eric Cassell, built it as a physics simulation tool, not a game platform, a place to stack blocks and watch them fall. That was the original idea. Not 200 million monthly players, not a metaverse worth billions, just blocks and gravity. But even in those earliest days, something strange was already happening. There were accounts that should not have existed. Username 0, guest 666, John Doe, Jane Doe. These names spread through playgrounds and comment sections like wildfire. Players swore the accounts were secretly controlled by Roblox staff who would follow you, stalk your avatar through empty servers, and watch everything you did without you knowing. It was never true. John Doe and Jane Doe were placeholder test accounts created in 2005 during the closed beta. But the myths grew anyway, because Roblox at midnight felt different. Empty servers felt wrong in a specific way that was hard to explain. And every year on March 18th, the so-called cursed login date that players invented out of thin air, the entire community would go into full panic over an account that was just sitting there, doing nothing. That is the power of the first layer. It looks like Folklore. But every legend in Roblox has a real account underneath it. Go deeper, and the iceberg gets darker. In 2017, Roblox quietly phased out a feature called Safe Chat. It was a communication system that replaced typed messages with pre-approved phrases for younger players, designed to keep the platform family-friendly. The idea was protection, but what it accidentally created was a loophole that nobody anticipated. Players discovered they could embed hidden messages by stringing together specific combinations of allowed phrases in sequence. An entire shadow language developed inside a children's game platform. And not all of the people using it were children. Roblox's moderation systems failed to catch the scope of what was happening for longer than anyone wanted to admit. The cleanup was one of the largest moderation actions in the platform's history. Content removed. Accounts banned in bulk. Policies rewritten. You were jumping through obstacle courses while that was happening on the same servers. Keep going down. The middle of the iceberg is where the economy secrets live. Roblox runs its own currency ecosystem. Robux flow in through purchases made by players and parents. They flow out through the developer exchange program, known as DevEx, where creators can convert their in-game earnings back into real US dollars. But the exchange rate has always been structurally unequal in a way most players never think about. The rate has historically hovered around $0.0035 per Robux. That means a developer who earns 1 million Robux, a number that sounds enormous and takes months or years to accumulate, walks away with approximately $3,500. For games that generated tens of millions of dollars in revenue for Roblox Corporation directly, the platform kept the overwhelming majority. Developers knew this. Most of them built anyway, because Roblox had the audience, and the audience was everything. That is not a fact you will ever see on the front page of the platform. Deeper still, there is an entire category of Roblox games that no longer exist anywhere on the platform. Not archived, not accessible through old links, not viewable even in read-only mode. Completely gone. These were games that reached hundreds of thousands of active players, climbed the front page, became genuine cultural moments inside the community, and then vanished. Some were removed for policy violations. Some were casualties of server migrations and retired file formats from the early Roblox engine. Some were deleted by their own developers before they walked away from the platform entirely. Roblox historians, actual people who spend years cataloging and documenting the platform's past, describe this as a digital extinction event. A version of Roblox that existed, was loved, shaped real memories in real players, and is now completely unreachable. No screenshot is enough. No recording captures what it actually felt like to be inside those worlds. You can never play those games. Nobody can anymore. Near the bottom, the iceberg becomes almost unrecognizable. There are coordinates inside certain Roblox maps that lead to places the developers never intended anyone to find. Players have clipped through geometry, bypassed invisible walls, and discovered developer areas that were never properly scrubbed from the public build before release, unfinished rooms, duplicate assets stacked inside each other, text notes left by one developer for another that were never deleted. In one well-documented case involving a popular obby game, players who clipped through the geometry behind the final checkpoint found a fully constructed room with no entrance, no exit, and no visible purpose. The developer, when asked about it publicly, said they did not remember building it. The most likely explanation is a second developer added it during a testing phase and never cleaned it up. The second most likely explanation is one that nobody in the community was particularly comfortable sitting with. You have probably passed through a dozen of those moments without ever knowing the room was there. And then there is the bottom. The lowest layer of the Roblox iceberg is not about secrets buried in game files. It is about what the platform itself has never fully explained. Accounts have been permanently banned, with no reason given and no appeal granted. Creators have been shadow banned, meaning their games disappeared from all search results without a single notification sent to the developer. Entire communities have been dissolved by policy changes that arrived without warning. Moderation systems have flagged innocent players while missing coordinated bad actors operating in plain sight for years. In 2021, Roblox Corporation went public on the New York Stock Exchange at a valuation of approximately $38 billion. At that same moment, the average Roblox game developer was still being compensated at that fraction of a cent exchange rate, building the content that made the platform worth tens of billions, and receiving a return that did not come close to reflecting that contribution. Most players never look at those numbers. The game is too fun to look away from. Here is what the iceberg actually is. It is not a horror story. It is not a single conspiracy. It is the gap between what a platform shows you and what it quietly keeps beneath the surface. Roblox built something that hundreds of millions of players step into every month without asking what is underneath the lobby floor. The forgotten accounts, the shadow economy, the lost games, the unfinished rooms no developer remembers building, the moderation decisions that were never explained, the numbers that were never meant to be compared side by side. You have opened Roblox thousands of times. You clicked join, waited for the game to load, and started playing like everyone else. And the whole time, the iceberg was sitting right beneath your feet. Every server you were ever in was floating on top of something enormous, something most players never think to look for. But now you have looked. And now that you know the iceberg is there, the next time you load into a game, you will feel it. That slight weight beneath you. That sense that the map goes deeper than the minimap says. You were never supposed to see this far down.